up, y'all? Toya here, and I am back with another video for y'all. Before we get into the video, make sure you guys either like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Alright, y'all, so today we are going to be doing something very different. We're actually going to do a review of a product, and we're going to be reviewing the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. So if you've been tuning in, you'll know that I released a couple of videos using these glasses. So I want to go and give my honest review as far as what I have seen so far. It's been about a month since I got these, so I want to go over a few different things as far as what I like, what I don't like, and hopefully this helps you decide whether or not you should get these glasses. So some of you guys might be wondering, what is so special about these glasses? Well, they actually have a camera on them, as you can see. So these are going to be good for recording, taking pictures. There's a few other different features on these glasses that I'm not going to go over today because I want to make this video specifically for delivery drivers or gig workers. So I don't want nobody to be saying, you know, you didn't go over the Meta AI features and everything. You can ask it and, you know, how to play the music, and we're not talking about all that, okay? If you're looking for like a full breakdown of everything about these glasses, you're gonna have to go ahead and find another video, okay? This is specifically for delivery drivers and gig workers, okay? There might be some people out there that are thinking of getting these more so for protection purposes. You know, they want to keep videos or pictures, you know, just different things as proof for their deliveries, you know, so they can cover themselves. So with that in mind, I just want to go over a few things that these glasses can provide, and like I said, just pretty much go over whether they will be worth getting or not. What have I learned in the month that I have had these glasses? So the first thing to note is that these are actually very easy to use. So everything is managed through the Meta AI app. So you just have to download that off of the App Store, Play Store, follow the instructions. You'll be able to go ahead and get everything set up. Now, when you first get the glasses, they come with this case. So this is going to be where you charge your glasses. There is a connector on the nose bridge area. This is where your glasses would sit in the case, as you can see. So you'll go ahead and put your glasses in there, make sure they're all charged, all that fun stuff, and boom, you're good. If this light is green, that means this is fully charged. If it is orange, that means it does need a charge. Now, in order to turn on the glasses, there is a button here on the side. It's like a little slider. You just need to slide it to turn it on. And as far as taking video and pictures, there is another button here on the top. You would go and press the button, just do a simple press and release to take a picture. And if you want to take a video, you would press and hold, and then it would start recording. When you're done, you would press it again to stop the recording. Now you can select how long you want to do recordings for. You can record in 1 minute and 3 minute intervals. I do 3 minute intervals just to be on the safe side because you never know, some stuff might happen in between and stuff like that. Now, as far as the camera quality, this has a 12 megapixel camera, which is kind of going to be standard for a lot of your front facing cameras on your phones. So it records in 1080p 30 frames per second, which is decent. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel like that's a bit outdated for 2025, but you know, it does what it needs to do. I actually found myself accidentally taking pictures sometimes. You know, I might try to adjust my glasses, not knowing that the button is actually on this side. And I actually caught a really good picture the other day. I'll put this up on screen here so you guys can see. And the quality, I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty good. So if you're lucky, you can go ahead and get some quality shots. I will say that sometimes it can look a little grainy, especially if you have low light, but it gets the job done. As far as storage, it does have 32 gigs of local storage on the glasses. So that's decent. It's not a lot, especially if you're going to be recording a lot. So I will highly recommend that you use the auto import feature. So as long as these glasses are in the case and they are charging and connected to Wi-Fi, of course, it will automatically import your videos and your pictures to whatever destination you select. So mine is connected to my Google account, and it automatically imports everything. And once it's imported, you can just delete it off of the app. Like I said, the app controls everything, so you can go ahead and view all of your pictures, your videos, all the settings, things like that. So once it uploads and it imports, you can just go ahead and get rid of whatever's locally saved. The other thing that I love about this is that it charges so freaking fast. Like legit, I was watching the battery life increase by like, you know, every 20-30 seconds. It was going up about a good 2-3% per minute. So if you need to get this charge, you know, from 0 to 100, it'll probably be charged within about roughly 20 minutes. I would say just under 30 minutes for sure. So yeah, super fast charge. But the downside to this is that the battery life itself on the glasses, they just aren't the best. They advertise that you can get up to 4 hours, and that's the key word. They say up to, but with the amount of recording that I was doing for my first few times going out and doing deliveries, first of all, I made the mistake when I went out for the first time. I did not bring the case, okay? This thing was about to die within about 2 hours. And granted, yes, I was doing a lot of video recording. Of course, that's probably gonna take up a lot more battery than just taking pictures here and there. Yeah, make sure you have this case with you. This case apparently can hold over 30-something hours of charge. So yeah, make sure you have your case with you. When you're not using them, just put the glasses in here. And that's pretty much what I do. I just have my everyday glasses that I'm wearing all the time. I put these on, and then when I'm ready to go and record, I'll take the Ray-Bans out, boom, record, do what I need to do. When I'm done, put them right back in the case, put back on my everyday glasses, and you'll probably get back up to 100% within about, you know, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how long you were using the glasses. So yeah, so good that it's a fast charge, but the battery life, I'm not gonna lie, it sucks. It's really not the best. My other issue that I noticed is that the audio can kind of get a little choppy. It kind of cuts out a little bit, and I'm not sure if that's a me issue or if that's an issue that other people have experienced. The reason I say I think it might be a me issue is because I sweat very easily. If I get hot, I'm sweating. If you guys have seen my videos, you'll see that my glasses, they're always fogging up right here because I be hot, I be sweating, okay? So on the glasses themselves, the mic is actually right here on the nose bridge area thingy. So yeah, assuming that I just might get really sweaty on my nose area, that might be causing some issues with the mic. I'm not 100% sure, but here's an example of what I mean. There's no curbside pickup orders for this location, and they have the incentive where you can make $7. So you can still hear, of course, but it's just those random like little choppy, it's just it just irks me as a, like I said, as a content creator. It just kind of irks me how it sounds. So yeah, it may not be that big of a deal to some people, but for me, I'm just like, it just kind of makes my skin crawl a little bit. The other issue that I have, and this is probably more so as a content creator perspective, it's that this only records in portrait. So as you guys are looking at me, this is landscape, full screen, whatever, right? But these only record in portrait. So like I said, this will probably be my issue more so as a content creator. You know, if I'm not doing like short form content, you know, it's not really the most ideal. But even thinking of it in the perspective of doing deliveries, I have noticed that I go back and I look at footage and I'm like, that didn't get picked up because it's literally honing in on just like this specific area because it's portrait, right? So you're not gonna go ahead and see this little peripheral right here, right? If you want to see that on camera, you're gonna actually have to go turn, look at it, right? So just because you can actually see it with your eyes doesn't mean that the camera is picking up on that. So you got to make sure, like, if you do catch something out the corner of your eye, don't just automatically assume that the camera's going to pick it up. You might have to turn a little bit just to make sure you're actually capturing it. I would say that's probably one of the biggest issues that I have so far. And another thing that I actually noticed just recently, I was completing a delivery, walking up to the doorstep, about to drop this stuff off, and my camera decides to stop recording. That was because my husband decided to call me. So apparently if the glasses are trying to do something else, you know, if you're in the middle of recording, that recording is just going to stop. It can't multitask, which I guess you can say it kind of makes sense. I was checking in the settings trying to see if there's something that I could toggle off or on so recordings don't get interrupted, but I was not able to find anything. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you do get interrupted, you might have to restart your recording just to make sure that you don't miss anything. So with that being said, you know, would I recommend these glasses? You know, to be quite honest, I would say wait. I'm happy that I got them. You know, it's a good alternative to using the GoPro that you guys have seen a lot. But I do definitely wish there was a lot more considering the price. When I tell you, I spent about close to $800 for these glasses, okay? $800 because the glasses themselves, they're about I think the ones that I got, these are the Wayfarers that I got. They were like $329. Then I have to get my prescription lenses, which that's another cost, of course. It's not covered by insurance. At least that's what they told me at the clinic. So there is an option to do a claim for some bit of reimbursement. Still waiting on that because you know how insurance likes to take their time. So whether or not that goes through, you know, I'll let you guys know. So with the lenses, you know, I got the thin lenses, the UV protection, the blue light protection. I didn't get transitions or nothing like that. That would have just been more on top of it. So I forgot the exact amount, but I do know it was under 800. It was probably around like 750, something along the lines of that. So for the fact that it's not covered under insurance and you have to pay that much up front and not know if you're actually going to get anything back, yeah, you would definitely expect a lot more out of the glasses. I am most definitely disappointed in the quality as far as just the lack of features. Some things I would say should most definitely be included: continuous recording, because you can only record in 1 minute and 3 minute intervals. If it stops, you have to start another recording. That may or may not be an option. The other issue of the fact that the camera quality is just meh for the amount that you're paying. Like I said, 1080/30. You know, I feel like we're past that as a standard. That was like, what, maybe 10 years ago that was the standard. You know, we in 2025. Like, you know, 4K 60 is kind of the norm for most. And even if you didn't want to go 4K, even if you went 1080 or 1440, but at least have 60 frames. 60 frames should most definitely be the norm. You know, there might be some hardware limitations, but again, you know, it's for the price point. Yeah. And again, like I mentioned earlier, my biggest issue is the recording itself as far as the aspect ratio. Recording in portrait, only having the ability to record in portrait, no. Even if you have an option to flip-flop, that would be perfectly fine, because some people might like portrait view, but I think most people would prefer landscape view. You can see, you know, what you want to see on the sides, stuff like that. For me, I'm definitely going to use these. I paid for them. I'm going to go ahead and get my money's worth, okay? But if you're deciding to get them, you know, not to discourage you or anything, I'm just letting you know what I experienced, some things that I liked, some things that I didn't like. But I would definitely say that there are a lot of things that need to be improved in order to justify that price point. I could literally get another GoPro, probably 2 GoPros, for the same price that I bought these Meta glasses, and the quality would be 10 times better. 10 times better. And like I mentioned before, I get there are other features, you know, Meta AI. Sometimes you want to chit chat with Meta, or you want to play music through your glasses, which is cool because, you know, you got your little speakers here. The little speakers, they're on the little bridge here, so you can hear right over your ear. Quality is great. You know, I could probably listen to some music that way. You can listen to your phone calls, you can reply to text messages. You know, there's a lot of different things that you can do. But like I mentioned before, as a delivery driver, if you're not really going to be utilizing those features, your main concern is recording, you know, battery life, the quality of the video, you know, things like that. Those should be the things that should sell the product, right? Not all of these fancy little, well, you can do this, you can do that, whatever. But that's just me, okay? That's just me. So yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. So like I said, not to try to deter anyone from purchasing, you know, again, just my personal opinion based off of my experience. It's up to you if you would like to purchase, if you want to stay away, maybe wait for the next generation. Completely up to you. But I do hope that my experience has helped you in some way with deciding whether or not you want to get the Meta glasses. And also, I'll probably do another follow-up review maybe 6 months down the line, maybe 3 months, we'll see. So, you know, if there's anything in particular you guys want me to try with the glasses, you guys can let me know as well. And yeah, just go from there. But I would love to know what you guys thought of this review, and also if there are any Meta glasses users in the comments, you know, let me know what you guys think of your glasses. Do you agree with this list? Are there some other things that you would like to include on this list? Let us know in the comment section below. Now, before I go, I have to remind you guys to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss a video. But I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. And as always, stay safe out there and keep grinding.